good morning. Hey, y'all. So, with the little bit of voice that I got left, Spirit wanted me to come and do this live talk with y'all. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Super Queen. Hello. Is pineapples in here? I can't even see pineapples for some reason. Hopefully, I didn't. I don't know. Okay. I want to talk about why breaking free from a Psy-Vamp, which is what I call them now, is Psy-Vamps. Okay. And also I think I put parasites and narcissists. Okay. Narcissists, they want narcissistic supply, which I believe that what it is it is an extreme compromise that they constantly want. They just constantly are creating these compromising situations, that of which there has to be some drama or some tension. But they do, in a lot of ways, resemble Psy-Vamps. Psy-Vamps, however, they are of an energy that is constantly consuming. Maybe this is a person whose spirit may have originated in a black hole or something, or maybe when they were bought about or thought about, maybe perhaps they came out of a black hole or something, or just something that consumes light. Okay. Not really sure. It doesn't matter. I just know that they're constantly trying to consume energy constantly. It's very different from the way a normal person, um normal people, and there is a such thing as normal. Okay. They are constantly, if you're like a normal person, you're constantly learning. And there's a difference between learning, understanding your environment, and consuming. There's a huge difference. Okay. Now, parasites, they are a little bit different, but not too much different from Psy-Vamps and narcissists. They more so bring about disease, though. Okay. That, they tend to bring about disease. So, why is it so difficult to break free from them? Why don't they ever want to let go? Why? Why is that? Like, it just seems like they never want to let go. And I think it's a lot of people that are really, really, really trying to figure this out. It's apparently a very, very, very deep secret. And I feel like it comes from Santa Muerta. But, I feel like she only would share that with people that she completely trusts, that who really appreciate her. So the reason why is because, though, why they seem to not want to stop. It's just like they cannot let it go, like they need it. And a lot of people will see it as drama, but where it becomes abnormal is when it is consistent and it's constant. And that's how you know that it's abnormal. Now, of course, you can protect your energy, but god damn it, who the fuck wants to sit up there watching they back the rest of their lives? So it's got to be another way. Okay. Now, they don't want to let go, however, because a lot of you guys have been getting energy vamped off of, and you don't discover it until years later, right? Like maybe a year, maybe a couple of years, probably because you had so much, right? and they consumed a lot of the light around you, a lot of the energy around you. And it took it's almost like they're biting an apple and you're the core of the apple. So by the time you realize what has been happening, they done bit into the core, which is you. And this is when you'll start displaying signs of being overly tired. You're not able to focus or concentrate, whatever type of energy, that whatever happens to you. Some people get headaches. Some people just all of a sudden develop asthma. Allergies get worse. All kinds of stuff. Like, there's a variety of symptoms. And I think what makes it so difficult is that people um, can't really tell the difference between that and the evil eye. And I think that that's what makes it a problem sometimes. Okay. Um, right, exactly. So they form an insatiable appetite for you. And it really depends on who you are. The more that you have to feed from, the worse it will be. Do I feel that they are consciously aware of what they're doing on some level? I do. Because coincidentally, they're coming towards you constantly, but then telling you that you have nothing and that you are nothing. And I think that that is them consuming you, because once they finish consuming you, you will be nothing. Okay. So that's it's really like a slow kill, can take years. And it shouldn't be ignored. You shouldn't ignore it. It depends on what situation that you're in. Because by the time they get done consuming everything around you, and I'm talking about your earth, your air, your fire, your water, your spirits, all you're left with is your wisdom and knowledge and help from Lilith. Because people think that Lilith is like this vamp. Lilith is a vampire, but a Psy-Vamp and a vampire are not the same. Vampires drink blood. That's what they do. It's the only thing that separates us from vampires is that they drink and they eat blood. That's it. And some of them may be a little murderous, but otherwise, vampires are harmless to me. Side vamps, however, are a whole other thing. Uh and this is what I mean. Of course, vampires are very spiritual creatures and beings, but Psy-Vamps, they connect to directly to spirit, which is why they're always around. Okay. And some Psy-Vamps don't feed off of people at all. Okay. Some of them don't, but a majority of them do. And it's very different from taking back your power. They try to get it confused. It's like, if somebody consumes your energy, you have every right to take that back. That's just like if somebody consumes or thieves off or steals your spirits or your mojo. You have every right to take that back. Now, the problem with Psy-Vamps is that they will actually make up this whole scenario in their head that you stole from them. It's very bizarre. And the way that they behave is so different. Like, they'll literally just walk up to a person and say, "Hey, you stole my life." Huh? Oh, that's mine. Kind of almost like You know, when you see those Lifetime movies, or the Hand That Rocks the Cradle comes to mind. If y'all remember Rebecca De Mornay in that part when Claire finally catches her and she knocks her over the damn table because of what she's been doing to her family, and she stands up and she says, "Oh, okay, I'll just take my baby and go." Like it's they're very odd and strange people, and they will make up whatever they can. It's almost like a person that makes up an excuse to talk to you. Like they're almost like, "Hey, I've got to question you about something," and nobody that I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've Throughout my life, I've known a few people that were like that, but you know, they are very pathological with it. Like it's a constant thing. Psy-Vamps are not necessarily spiritually blessed or inclined either. Um, they are constantly searching for your energy. So, for example, they will try to meditate, like what witches and shamans and psychics can do. They will try to meditate. They're usually not successful with meditation. Like 98% of their meditations don't work. They are blocked from astral travel, period, 90% of the time. So, this is the reason why they have to confront you. They have to communicate with you in some kind of way. They have to. And it's usually very unpleasant. They're usually in a really bad mood if they have to do that. And that's why they're attacking you. That's exactly why they're attacking you. They're attacking you because basically it's almost like the same concept and principle of adrenochrome. They want to say something to upset you really bad because they expect it to upset you. Because when you're upset and your body temperature goes up and your pulse quickens, then they feel that that is delivering what they want faster. Now I'm gonna tell you the big secret about Psy-Vamps and parasitic people. They're not actually getting anything. In fact, the energy that they take, the reason why they have to consume so much is because they reduce that energy. So I just to put it in numbers, if let's say that if somebody stole 1,000 grams of energy from you, they're going to reduce it to 10. They're going to reduce it to 10. So they're constantly out looking for people to feed off of. A lot of you guys are thinking, wow, I've never lived like that. And I'm talking about just enough energy for them to get through the day. Otherwise, they are very low vibrational and typically very, very depressed. Okay. Um, Once they have found something that tastes good, almost like Sookie, y'all know Sookie on True Blood. Uh, Sookie had special blood because she was, the whole thing with her being mixed with the Fae. Okay. And so vampires, it's not complete science that show, but I'm just giving y'all that as an example. People wanted vampires in particular wanted to consume Sookie constantly because of her specialized blood, because of her blood. Okay. But it's the same thing when it comes to your energy. Like if you're the type of person where people are like, oh, I want her to come over. You know what I'm saying? Like you one of the favorites in the family. Like people be like, hey, is so and so good. Like I remember my fam bam. I miss my family too. I remember, and by the way, I don't get along with everybody in my family, just by the way. But I remember when my grandmother was still alive, and my cousins would come over and my auntie would come over, and they call somebody else to come over, and the person be like, "Who all over there?" And they be like, "Shawnee here," and that was never a bad thing. That was my family was never feeding off of me like that. Like I think that some stuff started happening that I'm not going to talk about, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just that I made everybody. I think that they just felt my healing energy, and they just loved me. That's all it is to it. Because I would do the same thing. I would call over my grandma. All right, I'm about to come over there. Who all over there? Oh, Tony here, Brandon and Randon here, and Tay Lynn here, and I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? Like and so I would always want to, be there, even though we didn't always get along, and even though it wasn't always happy. You know what I'm saying? It was bad times too, but it was more good than bad. Honestly, it was. Okay, so but things change sometimes. I'm not saying go hug everybody in your family, because in a decade everybody can change, depending on what happened. But anyway, and so it's just that it's your energy. It's your energy that feels good. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing wrong with that, but a Psy-Vamp or a parasite or a narcissist needs to consume that at a consistent rate. And then another thing, they are always trying to get people to identify with them. So you're not to have your own identity. It's some kind of weirdness going on with these folks' identity. You can't be you. You have to be them. And they have to consume you sometimes to bring you down, or to bring you to the same vibrational level as them. So that's another thing that they do. Some of them try to set intentions to feed off of you. It never works. It doesn't. So what they end up usually doing is trying to sabotage the person. I mean, listen, I work with a spirit that specializes in vampire magic, but vampire magic is blood magic. It's not necessarily feeding off of somebody. That's just like saying that Lilith needs to feed off of the earth. I think a lot of people confuse. They are very confused about Lilith. Even on that show Supernatural, like they made it seem like Lilith just comes in and her darkness just consumes everything. Lilith is only gonna do that if you piss her off, if you doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing. Otherwise, Lilith is the mother. She is a mother. She's a very good mother. They've been lying on Lilith for years. They've been killing babies and saying Lilith did it for years. And I talked about that on another channel. I know a lot of people like for people to be a villain or whatever, but Lilith really is a very, very sweet deity. She really is. She's a sweetheart, just like Santa Martha. Santa Martha does not consume people. Santa Martha protects. She is freaking awesome. She is, oh God. I couldn't have asked for a better auntie. I call Santa Martha my auntie. She's like my great auntie. You know what I'm saying? Hecate is like my grandmother. Lilith is the mother. So I've got like my whole little thing I got going on in my head with them, or my own thing. But and so it that's vampire magic is blood magic, because vampires are all about the blood, consuming it, just the power of the blood, which goes a lot deeper than just drinking blood. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that is a Psy-Vamp, they to put it in layman's terms, this is a person that didn't really, how do I put this? They don't, it's kind of like they don't really have a belief in self. In fact, they feel very displaced from the world. Like they almost feel like they're not here and present. And it's very scary for them. So, part of the reason why they have to do that is because they have to feel normal. Like for me, besides my clients and my children, I can sit here and just you ever are you the type of person that constantly needs somebody there next to you, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying you're a side vamp if that's the case. Okay. But side vamps, they're the type of ones when it comes to relationships, like instead of them working on themselves, like they get out of a bad relationship and it's usually their goddamn fault, right? But they always playing victim, especially narcissists. Okay. um but what they will do is they will hurry up and try to find somebody else to replace that person. They can't just sit with themselves and say, okay, let me take some time to breathe and just kind of be, just kind of be alone for about a few weeks at least. No, they have to have somebody right then and there. Okay. And it's not for purposes of sex, it's not for purposes of love. It's literally for purposes of having someone else's energy, of being to be able to consume that person. People that are in relationships with them usually feel exhausted just by being next to them. It takes so much out of you, and they know intuitively when you are protecting your energy, and they hate that. In fact, the moment that you start protecting your energy, like the moment, like I'm talking about really protecting your energy, like I'm not just talking about saying, hey, I protect my energy, which could work. Okay. It depends on how much distraction you have. uh Protecting your energy should involve earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Okay, that's it. It shouldn't. And when we say earth, we mean some kind of stone. By fire, we mean by will. By air, we mean by intention, as well as um, air would also denote to creating that shield. And then water, water is going to be water. Okay. That's the only way to describe water. Okay. Water, something with water in it. Everything is water in it. You know what I'm saying? That's liquidy. It's usually not everything, but some things have water in it. Okay. Anyway, so, you can't just like, and this is as a witch, like, and this could be just my experience because especially when I came out the broom closet and was developed myself and taking them damn cinnamon baths and stuff. Like I don't know what it was about them cinnamon baths. When I was taking those and started developing myself, I found that it was just like, I felt like everybody wanted a piece of me. I was like, wow, like it was just like 1,000 to 1,000,000 mosquitoes just biting me all at once, like literally. And I knew that that's what it was. It's not anything that's in your head, because I know how I manifest. I know me. Okay, I know me. And there's a lot about certain realms and astral travel that I'm not going to really get deep into, but I just noticed certain things were just off, and it was a consumption that took place over a course of years. And I essentially ended up having to learn the hard way, and you'd be surprised. A lot of this, okay, let me tell you guys what one of the number one signs of a Psy-Vamp is. This is somebody that will purposely sabotage things, and you have to watch them. because what'll happen is they will get worse throughout the years. If it's something positive happening, like if it's something very, but like for example, if it's a flower, everybody knows that flowers are not going to last forever unless you preserve it somehow. Everybody knows that. But if it's a beautiful flower and you pick it and you have a bouquet of flowers, and this person is the type of person that looks at the flowers and goes, well, they're going to die soon, right? And they just, it's always, and that's not necessarily like a person that has a preoccupation with death is not necessarily a Psy-Vamp. But I'm just saying that they sabotage. Like you say, look at how pretty that flower is, but it ain't gonna look pretty when it dies. Well, actually, I believe that flowers look pretty even when they die. I like to keep dried flowers. Okay. I told you, Super Queen. I told you he was. You got to tell me about that. Yeah, I felt it the moment. Like I can pick up on it when you guys are dealing with a Psy-Vamp, and you know what I would say is I would look at everything from all angles. Can you be friends with a Psy-Vamp? Yeah, it depends on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because a Psy-Vamp may not necessarily be trying to feed off of you. I don't know any Psy-Vamp that's not trying to feed off of me. Not like all of them are. Like all of them. It's very bizarre. Okay. Any of them that come across me, it's like they automatically what they will start to do is they will envision you and they will just start to pull you towards them. Okay. Kind of like people that have the gift of what is that thing? People that can move objects. Okay. And many of us have that gift. We do. Many of us have that gift, especially if you have any kind of witchcraft or shamanism. Probably not every witch can agree that they can pull things towards them. But, you know, and see, that's where, you know, people have to be careful with their identity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I personally, when it comes to my magics, I like to draw from the earth and the universe. Why? Because those things are very abundant. For me, it's not going to be a personal choice for me to feed off of someone else because because that person kind of needs their energy. Like that person needs that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Okay, I'm not a killer. You know what I'm saying? There is a difference between a killer, right, and a person that will defend themselves. There's a difference. Okay, because everybody walking around here just saying like, and their perspective is different. Here's another thing that I noticed: everybody is an enemy. Everybody, like they don't have friends. Everybody around them, they're so distrustful. They're so distrustful that everybody around them is an enemy. You know what I mean? And yeah, there are sometimes people can make mistakes. Like I've had a lot of people in my life make mistakes. I've had clients make mistakes. I've had them not listen to me. I fussed about that recently. Okay. But to just feel like that it's a difference. It hits differently when you're a person like them to where it's always a war. It's like everything is a battle constantly. And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, Jamila, okay, well, that reminds me of me because even as a witch, You know what I'm saying? Because I put stuff on autopilot. You know what I'm saying? Like I will put stuff in the air that just is on autopilot. So I'm not saying that it's very different. It's very different than what I'm talking about. And the thing of it is that they don't even have to do it, but they put themselves in a position to where if they don't do what they're doing, they feel literally like they won't survive. Like they literally feel like they are going to die. Like all of a sudden, you're supposed to just transform into a battery for them. Like, you know, you're like a super cell to them or something. You know what I'm saying? And where does that come from? It's the brain is made out of electrodes. There's actually electricity through the whole body. Okay, so they have to have the battery, and it's everybody. It's the, you know, when you look at a relationship between a man and a woman, or a woman, and man, whatever it is that you're doing, okay, it's a synergy between the two of them. Okay, it's a synergy. It is, and so, but these people are forming these cords to everybody, everybody, right? As many people as possible. But if they're feeding off of somebody, you know, do I think that it's necessary or normal for people to latch on to people and feed from them? No, I don't. And stop thinking the way they want you to think. Because what they want you to think is that you've been doing the same thing. They want you to think that that's what you are. Like you've just went around and done that. And you know that's untrue, because especially if you're the type of person that when you come around people, they become blessed. They just, that they feel uplifted. Even if you're sad, even if you're angry, it uplifts people, because you know what I'm saying. um which, for me, I'm an empath. If somebody else is sad, I'm gonna be sad with them for that moment. You know what I'm saying? I can switch up like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's called being an empath. But so they literally feel as if they're gonna die. Like they're just, and it's not normal. It isn't. It's not normal. And it's not love either. They confuse it with love a lot. They confuse it with love and hate. And it has nothing to do with either one of those things. It has nothing to do with either one. I don't know all of that yet. I don't know why these people are the way that they are. I have no idea. I'm not even going to hold y'all up and pretend that I do. All I know about is what I can see is this connection to almost like oblivion, right? It's like, and I'll do some research, y'all, and come back and talk about this more later. I'll do some research on it, because is there such thing as oblivion? Is it, are there portals to oblivion on the earth? Okay. Are they somewhere in the, in outer space? And are there beings that come out of there? Are there star seeds that come from there? It might be something that we haven't discovered yet. I don't know. Because you got to understand that spiritual scholars have been doing research on this for years. So the answer, and the correct answer to what I'm asking right now, might already be out there. Okay. And so I'll look for it to see. If I don't find anything, typically what I do is I'll try to figure out my own answer for it. But, just like with science, you know what I'm saying? Everything is theory. So I can only theorize why, but all we know is that case in point is that they are consuming you, everything around you, as well as everybody. At and sometimes it speeds up it, especially when the moon is waxing. I feel like it's at more of a rapid rate. I feel like when the moon is waning, it's probably at a slower rate. Okay, it may have some kind of connection with the moon. All I know is what to do about it. And there's probably more than one thing that you can do about it, right? Um, I think once you get to a point where you find those answers, um, once you figured out what it is exactly that you're going to do about it, um, I think you should. I think you should keep it to yourself. I think that it's literally like it's got a deep connection to the Kabbalah, the tree of death, the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that I wouldn't teach it during a class, and more than likely I will. But I think that everybody comes into it at their own time because everybody's story is different. It really honestly depends. It really does. I can tell y'all another thing that Psy-Vamps, parasites, and narcissists run rampant in the church. They just do, especially on these with these online churches, but even the ones in the physical churches. You know what I'm saying? Like it's running rampant within that. And that can be very scary because when you feel like you can't trust like when you feel like you can't trust your world leaders and stuff, man, that shit sucks, bro. Like that like all I gotta say is that listen, I trust them. In my utopia, I can trust every world leader because they're supposed to represent me, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to, you know, certain things, like I'm not gonna be foolish about it because you can feel it. And they are really trying their hardest to make it seem like it's a mental illness. Now, ironically, the field of psychology does not discount the paranormal, and they hate that. They absolutely hate that. They hate the fact that psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists, they definitely do. um I mean, a lot of them believe in the paranormal. You know what I'm saying? And so um but it still makes for a lot of social discord and just and then they'll get together in these large groups. um I've seen them actually before consume somebody and kill them. I've seen them do that. They will focus and focus and focus on that person, taking everything out of them once they've homed in on what the hell? Homed in on them. And I've seen people die because of that. It's typically an older person or either somebody that suffers from really bad alcohol addiction. The alcohol itself is not bad, you know what I'm saying? But if you consume too much of it, then what it does is it messes with your immune system. I think the stronger your immune system is also is whether or not you have attractability to them. How fast do you heal? If you're somebody that heals very fast, you'll find, especially you're going to find them in these spiritual communities. You are. Some of them are bolder than others, but you're going to find them in the spiritual community. You are. And uh, is all I gotta say about them. Um, I suppose everything has its purpose, but I also think that this is something that the spiritual community needs to be very specific about with these people because they are suffering from an affliction. I believe that they can change. I don't believe they have to be like that. And I think that they would survive. I think that they tell themselves that they're going to die, but in reality, they're not. That's why they're so afraid of it. You know what I mean? They're definitely afraid of death, which I think that all of us are kind of like, ooh, like, we're constantly trying to protect our lives because, people want to live. But, I've seen them consume people to the point where they've made people want to unalive themselves. And that's pretty scary. So, um, Lilith has been a strong guide. She's been a strong, um, she's been a lighthouse for me. Lilith has been, because, it's, I've been in the position where I was being fed from and didn't realize it. Like I started to realize it, and I would like put a red candle in my cauldron or something like that. Um, but by that time, I had been consumed so much, to the point where I literally had to replenish myself. Like it was very bizarre. Like I just, I even look different. I looked like somebody had just stood there with a straw and just sucked all of the color out of me, all of the light out of me. Like I literally was consumed. This was in 2022. The same year, of the whichever year that was when the Astro World incident happened. Okay. That same year was when I realized, I said, God damn, I said, they feeding off of me. I didn't realize my landlord was doing it. That's why y'all, I'm packing and seriously. And here's the thing about it. Moving out of their house is not going to stop them. Like, they're going to try to follow me. They think they're going to follow me. Oh, well, they're in for a rude awakening. I'm just saying, y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? Seriously, like my landlords, they are the way I would describe them, um parasites. Okay. And they were directly feeding off of me. Like I was literally under their roof and that's why they didn't want to get that raccoon out of there because they felt like it would make it easier for them to do what they got to do. Hell, you never know, they probably implanted it up there. Who the fuck knows? you know Thank you, hon. The point is that Lilith will help you with that. She will. And they wrong as hell. They wrong as hell and they know it. Okay. Especially when if it's a corporation. People don't think about corporations that could be feeding off of them. Okay, consuming their energy. Okay. So, you just got to be careful with that. You really do. You have to really, really, really be careful. Everything happens for a reason. We go through what we go through to learn is why we go through those things, because it teaches us something. If people never went through anything, they would never learn nothing, would they? Okay. So, hey, this is not going to work for me. This is not working for me. Gone, girl, gone. Because you're getting ready to get cat hair everywhere. Okay, y'all. She will come up here, and then next thing you know, it'd be a cat hair floating, and trying to go into my drink and stuff. So, 'cause I need to brush her. I need to brush you. I know. Okay, don't be looking at me like I don't love you, because I do love you immensely. You know, I think you're a great kitty. I like that serious look on your face too, kitty. I really do. she be, she be looking at me like I am a cat. Do you know how special I am? So, what do you want? I don't want to make biscuits. I don't want to make biscuits. The hell? Girl, you need to go to the vet and the groomers. You do. You need No, I'm not making biscuits at this hour. No. Okay. No, we're not making biscuits. Okay. We're not making biscuits. Anyway, sorry y'all. My cat's trying to make biscuits and I ain't trying to make no biscuits right now. And plus I'm drinking my iced coffee. I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna get some more packing done. I will see y'all later. If y'all need assistance with that, it literally is for some of you guys a matter of life and death. When you're dealing with them, because I've seen them consume people, to the point where, like I said, even younger people, you're not safe from them just because you're younger. Lena, go away. I'm tired of you doing that. No, if I tell you no, no means no. I said no. I said no. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Love y'all too. I will see y'all later. Y'all definitely can get at me if y'all need help with that, because at the end of the day, I survived it. I survived it. And I had, like, at one point, I had so many people feeding off of me. It was ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, it's not going to be anything left of me to even give to my children. It literally made me so sad sometimes, because, I just was like, why me? Now, these days, it's not as difficult. It Go away, Lena. I'm serious. You're interrupting me. Stop. It's not as difficult these days to me, because the consuming has ended. They try. A lot of them do try. I've noticed the landlord doing rituals during the full and the new moon, being weirdness, getting the information about your family members. When you fill out a job application or an apartment or an application for a house, you have to give them your social security number, don't you? So if somebody has your social security number, they can actually find out your whole family. They can find your mama, your daddy, they can find everybody, your ex-husband, your ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people are very weird. They're weird. Lena, I said no. Thank you. And that's a lot of trust that you give. That's a lot of trust that you give to somebody that you probably shouldn't. I know, right? She's literally here, girl. Okay. Um, It's a lot of personal information that you give to a person, a complete stranger that you don't know, isn't it? Know what I would do before giving somebody my personal information? You can definitely look up reviews. Reviews don't necessarily always mean anything, but they are a perfect indicator, especially if you're dealing with a company. Look up their reviews and then also do some divination. Take that seriously because I'm going to be honest with you. I wish that I never would have given. I love this house, but I wish that I never would have moved in here or known these people ever existed. I cannot stand these people. And they were real slick with it because we went through 4 different management companies before it ended up being them. And just their name alone irritates the fuck out of me for real. Just the name of their company irritates the fuck out of me. It does. Okay. So check those people out. Don't just go filling out applications and stuff. Now if it's a reputable company is not going to have bad reviews. Now, companies can fluff their reviews, which is why you want to back it up with a reading. I would want to know, and I know a lot of people made the mistake they didn't know. But you know what? Just because you make a mistake don't mean you got to suffer for it for the rest of your life. Bad people would love to tell you that you made this mistake and now, it's destruction and you're destroyed and you have to do what they have to tell you to do. But you just have to have your own willpower and strength. You know what I'm saying? Tracking and monitoring people and being weirdness and stuff like that. That just goodness gracious. But anyway, y'all, I will catch y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful moon day or Monday. Okay. Blessings to y'all. Oh, by the way, hit that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Even though my ratings are disabled, I keep saying I'm going to fix that. And I'm probably going to fix it when I get off of here. And make sure y'all subscribe. Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye. You have a good day too, sis. Love you too. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.